All right, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make a big, huge video about this because there's just not really reason. So I watched I got the Green Lantern extended edition because I love the movie. Judge me, I know, but I really like the movie, so I got the extended edition just to see what they'd added in, and I was gonna be like, oh, this would be cool. I'll watch it, and then I'll review it with like another YouTuber, like maybe John again or something. But then I really realized that then yeah, it's an extended edition. It's not like a new movie. There's not gonna be that much, and really, despite the opening scene, um, there is no major changes. There are no like major huge changes except for this opening scene. So I'm really just gonna be talking about the opening scene. So yeah, if you haven't seen the opening scene, uh, I won't spoil it actually because I'm gonna try and convince you to get the extended cut if you like the movie. But one thing I will say before starting the review, if you didn't like Green Lantern, if you maybe if you were on the fence about it, but if you really did not like the movie Green Lantern, like you couldn't get into it, you couldn't get into the mythos of Green Lantern, or like if you've just never been a big fan of Green Lantern, I wouldn't recommend this because it's the same movie. It's not like Daredevil the extended cut where it's a completely different movie, almost completely different movie, but it's not a it's not a drastic change. It's still got elements of the same movie. It's got the same elements, same story, same characters, same acting. So yeah, if you didn't at least a bit like the first film, I would not even try this. But if you're like me and you enjoyed the first film, the theatrical cut, I'd get the extended edition. Okay, so the added scene is a long, long scene. Well, it's not a scene really. It's more a couple of scenes. But it's Hal as a kid, and it kind of plays out like Secret Origins. It's kind of like a twist on the Secret Origins thing, where the majority of the first issue, if you don't know, if you haven't read Secret Origins, Green Lantern Secret Origins by Jeff Johns, there is Hal as a kid, and it's just kind of him watching his father. Well, it's more than this in the movie. In the movie, it shows a lot more of him and his brothers and him and his father and the relationship between his father. I think the kid who plays Hal is pretty cool. He didn't really do. He was a pretty cool actor. Didn't have a lot of things to do, but I liked it. I really liked the inclusion of Carol and Hector as kids as well, because that I really wish. I see. I don't know why this wasn't the theatrical cut, because I really wish that scene was in the movie, because it kind of gives more. Because the party scene where Carol, Hector and Ryan, not Ryan, Hal meet, it kind of references the scene where they meet as kids. Well, it kind of references that they knew each other as kids, but that's not mentioned in the theatrical cut, which kind of annoyed me. And then also there's the guy who plays his dad terrifically. He plays him like really cool. I mean, like even in Secret Origins, where we get like almost just nothing, we get him talking in the plane, but we still get kind of a sense of what type of character he is, and that's what you feel when watching this guy who plays Hal's dad. Another thing this scene does, it also adds a lot to the flashback that Hal gets when he's the plane's falling and he forgets to pull out the parachute or whatever, um, because he has the flashback of his father blowing up. It adds a lot more when you're just replaying a scene that you saw just a couple of minutes ago of his father getting killed, and it's also really, really emotional when you see Hal and then he thinks his father's died, and then all of a sudden you see his father come out of the plane. And you're like, oh, what? But yeah, and that's not really spoiling anything because it's in the movie, it's in the theatrical cut, but it's just a lot better um, in the extended edition. So yeah, I don't think I want to talk about this too much, even though I've gone a lot longer than I thought I would. Um, so yeah, I would recommend picking up this if you enjoyed the Green Lantern movie. But if you didn't, it probably won't change because it's still got Parallax as a giant cloud. It's still got the majority of things that most people didn't like. Although I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've touched up the effects at least a bit, because a lot of like Hal's mask and stuff like that looked a lot more crisp and a lot more. It felt a lot, uh, just a lot more. How do I say it? Like in place. I don't know. It just felt like it fit more. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say with the extended edition.